In school, we're taught our ABCs, and we learn quickly that those fundamentals of the alphabet end up being so immensely important to the rest of our life in terms of communicating and relating and relaying messages to other people. Now, on today's episode, welcome to another episode of Self-Employed Success Secrets. Saturday edition. On today's episode, we're going to talk about the ABCs, to remember the ABCs when it comes to being self-employed. Now, a lot of people have probably heard the term always be closing, ABC. On today's episode, we're not going to be talking about that. We're talking about another ABC, A, B, C, D, E. Okay, which means always, A, B, careful, C, disciplined, D, about everything. E, always be careful and disciplined about, always be careful, disciplined about everything, okay? So what exactly does this mean, and why does it matter, and why should you care? You should care because usually it's little details that are going to separate you from getting a client or not getting a client, and also keeping a client and making your life much better. Micro details, because everyone just about does the same thing. Everyone goes where everybody gets up, but it's how you do it, why you're doing it, that these things are going to separate you from everybody else. The effort that you put forth, okay? Be careful and disciplined, okay? When it comes to even doing a good job, you're going to be careful. Because a lot of people's work is very detail oriented. Like, let's say you're a painter, you would paint the interior of houses. You miss a spot, they're going to remember you for that one spot. They're not going to remember if the 99% you got right, they'll remember you for the 1% you got wrong. That's just how people are. And so it's really helpful, because if you can tweak and tighten a few things, and also too, the purpose of this channel is to give you tips, tricks, and techniques to help you be successfully self-employed, because it's very hard. Just got done doing some work. Got the laptop up, and let me see if you can see it. Got the laptop up at my desk, but yeah, I haven't made a video in a while. I need to get back to it, being consistent. So yeah, always be careful and disciplined. The first one, talk about is being careful. Okay, walking gingerly towards what you're doing, not scything through it. Okay, not doing it in a slapdash way. Whatever it is you're doing, whether that's keeping track of your money when you get paid, whether it's doing a good job, keeping clients, communicating with your current clients. Okay, you gotta want to be careful. Okay, you want to watch what you say. All right, the next is you want to be disciplined. Is that discipline basically is that everything is in its place, metaphorically and physically, and that there's a place for everything. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. Discipline, to simplify, to distill it, is that metaphorically and physically everything is in its place, and that there's a place for everything. Okay, meaning that you do the things you need to do at the right time in the right way. Remember, everybody does the big things of getting up in the morning, talking, going to work. It's how you do it, what you're doing it, why you're doing it, and usually with who you're doing it. That's gonna separate you. Okay, and a lot of the game is separation and preparation. And interestingly enough, if you coalesce those two, there is a separation that takes place because of preparation. And now, also too, stay tuned for the very end for a surprise, but you just want to remember these ABCs the same way you remember these as you're living your life, is always be careful and disciplined about everything. All right, as I've lived my life, just anecdotally, I've just noticed that carefulness comes up all the time. One day I broke a cup in my cupboard, and it's just because I wasn't being careful, I just dropped it. Okay, how many times do you forget things because you're not being careful? How many times have you got your keys? How many times have you locked your keys in your car? How many times have you been with a client who was on the fence of hiring? Remember, just about every client you meet or person you meet is on the fence, because there's not much of a difference usually between you and the other person. Remember, the road to success and the road to failure is almost exactly the same. So it's those little things that are going to get you over most of the time. Like, I went to this teriyaki place to eat food. They said thank you to me I literally remember that. It's a little tiny thing that versus somebody else who doesn't say anything. They're just like, whatever, I don't want to even talk to you. Okay, so little things really matter, but always be careful and disciplined about everything. All right. Like literally everything from brushing your teeth to tying your shoes to walking down the street to typing an email to talking to somebody on the phone. Always be careful and disciplined about everything. Always be careful and disciplined about everything. Okay? And then do it every day and you'll see a difference. Okay? Because I wish I had known this when I first started, because I was making little mistakes that would cause people to be like, hey, we're not going to hire you, or we're going to move on to someone else, or just little things. Tracking down when you did something. Records are important. You need to make a video about that, how important it is to keep records of when you start and having timelines, all that. But yeah, not only stay surprised is that be the same person every day. Always be careful and disciplined about everything. And life will get easier and better. Or life won't get easier, just be better. Okay, bye.